Hi guys, welcome to Daughter of Light Tarot. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. In this video we are going to have a look at what messages, guidance and insight the tarot has for us this week. And if you are interested in last week's messages, the link will be in the description box down below. Please bear in mind that these are general readings, which means that they are meant for everyone and may not always resonate. Okay, I am going to set out your piles now. I recommend choosing the pile that you feel drawn to or are attracted to. If you want to skip ahead to your pile so long, the timestamps will be in the description box down below. In the meantime, this is pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. If you like choosing with crystals, I am going to pop those on now for you. For pile 1, we have a tiny tiger's eye. And pile 2 is the blue lace agate, and pile 3 is the Iolite. This is what it looks like up close, so you can have a little proper look. And then the blue lace. And the Iolites. Hope you can see the little bit of blue in it. It's really pretty. Okay, then I will see you in your pile or piles if you've chosen more than one. Hi pile 1. Remember that this is a general reading and not a personal reading, so please take what you feel is meant for you and leave that which you feel is not. Okay, let's see your first card. Your first card is the Sun. Let's just move that aside so that I can shuffle for the rest of your cards. Thanks, that was nice and easy. Okay, so your first card, the Sun. Your second card, the Queen of Pentacles. This reading is reminding me of, I think it was pile 2 in the new moon reading, so I don't know if you want to go and check that out, but you're more than welcome. Just the cards so far. It feels as though with the Sun in reverse, as though you are coming or have left a place where it kind of felt carefree and you felt free. Not so much like a person without responsibilities, but it felt as though your state was peaceful and fun and you could do what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. It feels like you were happy in this stage of your life. Perhaps it could have been a week, it could have been a month, it could have been a year, etc. It feels like you were not unhappy, but you weren't exactly at your happiest. if that makes sense. It feels like you were content with what you had, even though you knew you deserved more, but you did not yet have the means to get there. The road was not yet shown to you. So it also feels like that was a period of rest almost. I'm saying almost because it still feels like you had to work on yourself in that situation, that stage. Even though it was peaceful, it was fun, you could do what you wanted to do, I feel like you learned a lot about yourself. And now it feels like your landscape has changed quite a bit from, I don't want to say being narrow or blocked in, but from what you knew in that stage, it's kind of like the walls have fallen down where you are now, and you've literally got the world at your feet. You've got so many options, you've got so much to do, that I almost feel like you kind of miss sitting down and having time to yourself, versus where you did have time for yourself. You were, in the back of your mind, you were worried about what you're going to do, where you're going to go, how you're going to make things work. And like that was a worry, but now it's like what to do next. Like there's so much that you can choose from, and I feel like you do choose. And I do feel like your world has changed quite a bit, but also that the knowledge, self-knowledge that you gained from here, from this space, is what you are keeping close to your heart, because that is precious to you, because you realize that out of everything that changes, the only thing that you get to keep is yourself, what you have learned, and that what you value, even though what you value does change over time. But I feel like now you've learned what you value from this space, and you are keeping that self of you that you've learned about, good and bad, as precious to you. And I feel as though you've started realizing that you are precious and you deserve more. And also that you cannot rely on other people to get you there. You got to do it for yourself. And I feel that this knowledge that you have acquired is precious to you. It feels as though here that you have learned to mind your own business, in the sense of your business is your business and you are dealing with it. But also not so much to care about what other people think of you or what you are doing, because you know and understand that you've got to take care of yourself, you've got to provide for yourself, not just now but for your future, as well as the dreams and plans you have, and what you've created for yourself now. And I feel because that this is what you have learned, you are heading towards change again. It feels as though the path from here to here has been gradual. And going forward, I feel as though you get to see how sudden it actually was, how you changed from this state to this state. It's like it almost happened immediately, even though while you were going through, it didn't feel that way. So I feel like a lot of hindsight for where you've been versus where you are now to where you want to be. Okay, with the Tower in reverse, I do feel definitely as though there is going to be change. Like it's going to be a change to the foundation of perhaps your core, in the sense of everything that you've learned here has allowed the growth and the space within yourself for this change to happen, versus who you were then and who you are now, where your priorities lie, what it is that you value, where you spend your energy and your time. I feel like it's going to be a major change for you in that sense. Where, let's say, for example, before you went with other people, you're there with them, perhaps to please them, and now I feel here with the Tower, you start making the choices of whether whether, let's say, for example, again, you go with people, or you have the choice to go with people, or I don't want to say to sit home at work or work on a project, or perhaps you entered a relationship and what you value is the relationship, and your obligations to this person, versus you just going out and with these people and letting them, I don't want to say run your choices, but going with the flow. Instead of like that behavior, you're now going towards, what is my responsibility to my partner, what is my responsibility to my new life. It's like you're making those choices moving forward, which is a major change from where you were and how things used to be, if that makes sense. Here I want to say with the Tower is this darkness around the Tower. It's making me feel as though like this is a change that you want because you've created it for yourself, okay? But the darkness that it's reminding me of is people fighting with you on it, but not so much as a fight, but disliking perhaps the new you, because your values have shifted and your responsibilities have shifted. Like, not everyone is going to support that. That's what I'm feeling here. But I feel as though you're still going to move forward with it, because you realize that it's you at the end of the day. And these people aren't walking your path. You sit in your experience from the moment you are born to the moment you die. And you need to do what is best for you, for example, when you retire. No one's opinions are going to help you then if you don't do shit about it now. You know what I'm saying. So that's just what the darkness reminds me of, is that there is people around you who are going to resist this change or this new you. But keep pushing forward, because you are building the foundation for yourself. You are building the new house for yourself to live in, if that makes sense. Your thoughts, your experiences, your choices, it's the house you build for yourself, the furniture you put in the house, it is the space, it is how the space inside the house feels, and that is what is important. Or you bring to yourself. These other people are either gonna like mess up your house, or they're actually going to add to it. It's up to you to see. So bear that in mind. Yes. Okay, I'm going to get some angel cards to see what the angels, higher ups, your spirit guides, however you want to look at it, to see what messages they have for you and what they want you to know, or perhaps consider or think about. Right, you've got the card retreats. Yeah, I feel from this card though that when you perhaps start to feel the resistance from the people around you, take time towards yourself, because you know you constantly get like conflicting opinions and things from people, and sometimes you doubt, but whether or not you're making the right choice, which is human and shows you do care. It's also okay if you don't feel that. Perhaps you feel that people around you are going yada 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 when you know what it is that you want. Just perhaps take some time to retreat in, take some time for yourself, as you did in the past. Just sit with yourself, be with yourself, strengthen yourself, strengthen your walls, especially for those who get a little bit doubtful, or you go back and forth between choices. You will find your answer within yourself. You make space for yourself, time for yourself. Same for those who need to, like, you know, push away the people who are trying to overrule them the whole time. Just take time for yourself, pull into yourself, strengthen yourself. You got this. You know what you want. Your heart will tell you even if you don't. Okay. But let us see what the card says for you. Okay. It says, spend some time alone in quiet thought. Clear your mind and focus on your truth and priorities. Are you pushing yourself too hard, beloved child of God? The angels remind us that rest is a natural cycle in every living thing. Think of a mighty oak tree that grows in spurts and then rests. It draws its nourishment from deep within the earth and takes its time before growing upward again. Like the oak tree, it's important for you to nourish yourself with spiritual and emotional food. While you are resting, take time to reflect on your heart's true feelings and desires. Your angels speak to you through your heart, and when you listen to and honor your feelings, you walk hand in hand with God and the angels. The universe, source, and your spirit guides, if you don't like the word angels. You will know that it is true divine guidance and not just your imagination or wishful thinking if it speaks of your desire to make a different world. Well, there you have it. I feel like I got nothing left to say after that. Okay, well, once again, Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching and being here. If you enjoyed this video, and you would like me to make more of them, please hit the like button so that I can know, yay, and not nay. But if you've also resonated with this reading, I would really like to hear about it, so feel free to pop me a message in the comment box below. And also, if you would like a personal reading, you can contact me on social media. The links are in the description box. But I will see you next week. Toodles! Hi, pile 2, what's cooking? Please remember that this is a general reading, not a personal, so please take that which is meaningful to you and leave that which is not. Okay, let us see what you have as your first card. You have the Four of Wands in reverse. I'll just put that one side so I can shuffle and get the rest of your cards. I feel as though with the Four of Wands that you could be worried that you are seeing signs of something not working out, but I feel as though these are signs that you saw previously with the previous something that did not work out. But I cannot tell you whether or not yet it is going to work out for you. But I definitely feel that because you see these signs, you are fearing that it's not going to work out. The message I am feeling there for that is that you got to bear in mind that you are looking at the present situation through the lens of your past hurt and your past trauma. So yes, acknowledge the fear, that the fear is there, but also understand that what you are experiencing right now is the present moment and may have absolutely nothing to do with the past. Okay, it wants to be shuffled once more. For example, if you're seeing signs with a person and it's reminding you of the signs from the previous person, remember that this person is a new person and they are different to the old person or the previous person of the old person. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that because of the signs of the old person, you perhaps you worry that something is hidden and your subconscious is feeding you signs, perhaps through dreams and such. But I do feel as though you still have a road to go through. So yes, be mindful of those fears, but don't let them rule you. Don't take them as fact. They are fears of potential outcomes, but they are not the truth, not the whole truth anyway. I feel perhaps as though you are worried that someone or something, it does not necessarily have to mean something, is going to leave. But I feel as though it's moving closer towards you here with the Six of Swords. My apologies, I didn't even bring them up for you to see. Okay, the Four of Wands in reverse and the Moon and the Six of Swords in reverse. How strange is that? You've got 5115 being like a mirror image. See, the situation that you're experiencing right now and the fears are, it's mirroring back to you what you are fearing, what is hidden in your subconscious mind, perhaps from your past experiences as well. See, now that I'm looking at it this way, here is two people celebrating and perhaps people leaving, where if you look at it that way, and this usually represents marriage according to some tarot readers, if this card then does celebrate that, marriage is the leaving of the old life, of the single life, to the life of togetherness, versus these two people leaving behind something on a boat and heading in a different direction. So I feel like, yes, you are seeing signs of change, but it's not necessarily the signs that you think that they are. So this experience is challenging you to work with your fears. Remember, your fears they come up to protect you. They are not there to scare you. They are there to protect you, so that you don't get hurt. They are not like vicious little monsters that you need to get rid of, which is fine. It is an emotion, like when you are happy, when you are sad. And if you think about it this way, fear goes on about survival. So the survival of this present situation. So yes, it is picking up of signs and it is pushing through the feeling of fear. And yes, your mind is also making up scenarios of what could possibly happen that you do fear. So it is constantly feeding into it. So just be mindful that it does that, and it's okay that it does that because we are human. But also remember to leave space for the change that is happening, the growth that is happening. I don't feel like you are going to lose what it is you think you are possibly going to lose. It feels more like the start beginning, so yes, ending before a beginning of a longer journey, a bigger journey. A journey where you are going to learn so much about yourself, and it's going to constantly challenge you by having things being mirrored back to you through other people, through situations, what it is you think about these people, these situations, and what you see versus what it actually is. So bear in mind that that's illusion versus disillusionment, and what is and what you think it might be. Also, when you see these signs and things, I feel as though to say that you must ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking this? And if it is, for example, you feeling insecure, give yourself some love or take some love. That's all I'm saying. That's your responsibility, your baby. If you need a hug and no one's just giving you a hug and you're feeling neglected because you ain't getting this hug, just go on and friggin' take the hug, okay? Example. Okay, I'm going to get you an angel card now to see what other messages your angels might have for you, or your spirit guides, or the universe, or however it works for you. Since it is all the same and not. Alrighty, we've got body care for you. With this, I'm feeling that when you do have these moments of doubt or fear or seeing signs, I feel from this card for you to take time out for yourself. Again, even if it's just like in a bath with bubbles and candles, because why the hell not? Spoiling yourself is important, but to take time out for yourself like that, or maybe just even sitting in nature. But when you do that, you ask yourself why, and you give your time to comfort yourself, to love yourself, because it is very important. Remember, no one can love us the way that we can love ourselves. Most people have the idea that you need to be loved a certain way. But no one can love you that way. Only you can love yourself that way. It's like totally up to us. So that's what I'm feeling this card is saying. Just as you love your body, let's say you cream every morning after a shower. I know some people don't, but that counts as self-love. You're going to do the same for your inner space, your mind. Because we have to live with our minds for the rest of our life. And it does have a tendency to replay everything that we have been through, as well as replay things, possible future scenarios through the lens of what has already transpired, of what's already happened in our lives, what we've already created, etc. So remember, once you do start loving yourself, you're taking care of your body, you feed it, you water it. Do the same for your inner world, because your inner world is just as important. And the part of you that does fear needs love and reassurance that you are going to be there, that you've got your own back. Okay. But let us see what they say. Okay. The angels urge you to care for your physical body. You are asked to eat healthful foods, to exercise regularly, and to avoid toxins. This card is your angel's way of asking you to pay attention to your physical body. Perhaps you resist this guidance, and the angels have repeatedly come to you about this topic. They remind you that the body is an instrument that, when well tuned, emanates greater harmony. Your spirit is like the music of a grand piano, and the angels ask you to maintain that piano. Your angels know that if you follow this guidance, you will feel terrific. Your increased energy and happiness is your reward for following angels' suggestions. They will help you find the time and motivation to exercise. They will also help you lose your cravings for unhealthful substances, and the angels will help you enjoy the newfound pleasures that come from purifying and maintaining your physical body. Okay, yes, I definitely know that this is a message that I too have been getting from my spirit guides. Anyway, remember that applies to your inner world as well. Okay, so that is all I have for you for this week. Thank you for watching and for being here. If you enjoyed this reading and perhaps even resonated, please give this video a like so that I know whether or not to make more of these, because it is after all you watching them. Also, if you do or did resonate with this reading, please tell me about it in the comment section. I really would like to hear. And then, oh yes, if you want a personal reading, please contact me on social media. The links will be in the description box for that as well. Okay, so that is that, and I will see you next week. Bye. Hi, Pal 3. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you. Okay, so let's get to this. Please remember that this is a general reading and not a personal reading. So that means to keep what you feel is meant for you and leave that which is not. Let's see what you have. You have the Justice in reverse. first. Okay, let's put it to one side so I can just shuffle the rest of the cards. I'm kind of feeling with the Justice card thus far that you've kind of had to be judge and executioner. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is I'm getting a lot of the Emperor vibes here as well from her. Did I bring it up? Okay, Justice card. And then the Three of Pentacles. And the Two of Wands. And the Hermit. Alrighty. The first pile this week to have four more than 3 cards. Okay, with the Justice card, I feel that though you have had to learn to stand up for yourself, because not necessarily the people around you are going to have your back. Which again does not stop you from standing up for other people around you, because it is naturally what you believe is right. But here now I feel though that you did do that. Perhaps have had to stand up for yourself, not having had all the knowledge or information regarding the situation, but I also feel that you stood up for someone else, not having all the knowledge and information, and somehow it has come back to bite you, or what you learned afterwards, after this situation, you did not like, and then it feels as though you decided to leave the situation, or you were thinking about leaving the situation, because I feel as though you realize that this person or people are toxic for you. They don't benefit your spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical growth. It's more like they are dragging you down, and it feels as though perhaps you've been keeping them around because of your loyalty to them. But now I'm asking you about your loyalty to yourself, because people are going to come and go, and if people don't necessarily always change unless they themselves want to. So taking that into account, knowing that these people or person constantly does the same thing and the pattern has not changed, perhaps the circumstances around these events have changed, but the person and the general situation has not changed. You are being asked to look at yourself, and when are you going to stop being loyal to yourself and putting yourself first? You're thinking about your future and your growth, because people will, not always, but will continue their shit and not stop it because it's serving them. And if it's not serving you, you need to ask, are you going to keep this around? Because for as long as this behavior from these people continue to serve them, they are not going to leave it behind. That unfortunately is how it works. Now, it might be that you don't choose to leave these people alone or cut them out, but definitely perhaps pushing them to the side so that they do their own thing and they don't get involved in your shit and you don't get involved in their shit anymore. Definitely feels like that is what you are thinking about doing. You're definitely here with the Hermit as well. it looks like that through these people and this situation and the choice you make, that the choice of distancing yourself from them, it feels as though you might fear ending up alone, but I don't think so much it is ending up alone. It is about knowing your worth and how far, I don't know if you can see, but here the hermit is technically standing on a mountain. It's about how far and how high you are willing to climb for yourself, for your peace of mind, your mental and emotional and physical health. Because from my personal experience, toxic people drain the shit out of you, and that then eventually does have an impact on your body and your physical health. So it is about you asking yourself, are you going to step away or not? Are you going to just push them a little bit further away and not give them access to your personal self or not? I mean, you don't have to take any of these options. This is just what I'm seeing here in these cards. Like here I see this, the guy in the Two of Wands who's holding, he's got the world in his hands and he's contemplating his future perhaps, or the scenery in front of him. This wand is loose, whereas that wand is tight to the wall. But now if you see, the hermit as well is holding a wand, and instead of the world in front of him, he's holding a light. So that to me is signifying that you choosing your internal world is more important than pleasing other people. It then becomes about the growth of the self and not the growth of others and how you can help others, but how you can help yourself. Because by helping yourself, you eventually get the chance to help those around you without actually feeding into their bullshit. Then what else I see here is that you're coming from a place where you kind of like ruled your realm, but it was your realm and you knew what was what. Moving into a situation where you were working with others and you were coming up a place that was all fairness, but by working with these people you realize that not everything is fair, and not everything and not all people perhaps think the same way as you do. As well as perhaps when you started with these people, you saw them in a certain light. Perhaps you saw them in the light of being fair. But this situation, as much as you enjoyed it in the beginning, is perhaps starting to niggle some doubts in your mind about what is fair, as well as watching how people treat you and how you are allowing it. How allowing their behavior as well. But somehow it kind of feels like it's not quite enough, or you're not getting out of it what you thought you were going to get out of it. So it feels then like you are moving into a space of wanting to consider your options, if that makes sense. Although I don't feel as though you're necessarily leaving the situation, because it is what it is, but it feels like you're looking at other things to add to your current reality as well. If it is about, for example, money, and you are working at a certain place, but it's not fulfilling you the way that you thought it was, and you don't feel like perhaps the people are valuing you as much as you value yourself or know you deserve to be valued. But because of this situation, I feel like you are looking at the horizons as to what else you can add to your reality, what else you can add to experience, what else you can add for a monetary gain. And again, I feel that because of this situation here with the hermit, you realize again that yes, you can rely on other people and other people do add value to you, but at the end of the day, it is just you. It is you that goes to bed with you at night. It is you that's got to take care of your future because nobody else is going to. Sure, people can help, they can add their advice, but when it comes to it, you are responsible for your future. And I feel like that for yourself as well. I feel like that's where you are going again. Like I feel that's where you're coming from, but where you are going again. Like you've learned a lot from this situation. But what you've learned in the past about needing to take care of yourself, I feel as though that has not changed. And perhaps you go into a hermiting again. I don't mean like by leaving these people behind, if it's work, family, whatever it is, friends, colleagues, whatever this is. I don't feel like you leave it behind, but I feel like you draw more into yourself again, because it's there's something here that isn't quite fulfilling you, if that makes sense. And where do you find what it is you need and want to do is by pulling into yourself. You have the answers for you always. Okay, let us see what messages the angels have for you. Celebration time, come on. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but it did. Okay, so the messages that the angels or your spirit guides have for you. Again, I'm just like being drawn to this moon and how her arms are up. Again, I feel like she's alone at night and perhaps she's celebrating the knowledge she has, but also being grateful for where you're coming from, where you are, where you are going. It is quite important to acknowledge our growth, lest we remain stuck. Perhaps you are to celebrate the choices that you are making for yourself, and even noticing the choices you're making for yourself now versus the choices you made for yourself in the past. I always feel like that is something to celebrate. Again, growth. But let us see what it says for you. Good news, cause for celebration is here, and it is time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's nice. The angels want you to know that this is a light-filled time in your life. Oh, that is so funny. Sorry, the light there in the hermit. You have been working toward making changes, and your intentions have now manifested into form. This is the time for you to fill your heart with a warm feeling of gratitude. The angels ask you, through this card, to hold strong in this gratitude. You are like a gardener who plants seeds and nurtures them because she has faith that her labors will yield new growth. Keep watering and tending to your seeds, and you will soon see them sprouting through the surface. The angels are your co-gardeners who help you tend to your crop. Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching and for being here. If you enjoyed this reading and resonated with it, please pop me a like so that I can know whether or not to do more readings like this one or not so much. Also, if you did resonate, I would really like to hear about it. So please pop me a comment in the comment section. If you would like a personal reading or are interested in one, and finding out how it works with me, you can contact me on social media. The links for that will be in the description box. But ciao for now. I will see you next week. Bye.